Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. The Pyro Playground preview, some alliteration there, is about to go out to a variety of testers, and you might be one of them. We're going to look at the Pyro preview channel schedule that's just gone up, and look through the plans of what's going on with this, and how you can get access, what to expect. This will allow you to try a big section of what's currently available in that new Pyro star system, but there are no jump points. It's not the whole system, it is limited in scope, although there is a lot to do. So there will be a set of patch notes coming out with the patch, just like normal. We don't know exactly who has access yet, as the emails won't go out until the time of access. So you'll get an email saying you have access, and then you'll be able to download. There's no preload. Assumedly, this is because CIG want to test concurrent downloads and logins. Zin was complaining about this earlier when we were chatting, saying probably better to know who has access when so that I can make plans around that. Otherwise, I'm going to make life plans and not be testing. With all this stuff, Cloud Imperium can certainly tighten the nuts and bolts as they go and in for the future. Cloud Imperium put out a post-Pyro preview channel schedule where they said, "Hi everyone, as we recently announced at CitizenCon 2953 and in our dedicated announcement, we're preparing the first expedition to Pyro tomorrow, today. Before you proceed, please make sure to read the aforementioned announcement in detail to ensure that you are up to speed and know what to expect." So what's that initial announcement they're talking about? Well, I'll quickly read it to you here. Throughout the development of Star Citizen, we've achieved numerous technological milestones, each bringing us closer to the immersive universe we've always envisioned. When a foundational technology comes online for the first time, it often requires a time for adjustment. It's an iterative process that sees our teams combat unforeseen challenges by inventing solutions on the fly, a process that can often cause disruptions for those who simply want to log in and play. That's where the preview channel comes in, a new environment where we will deploy and test new underlying technologies in an isolated environment to protect the reliability and playability of the live service. Upcoming foundational technologies such as the replication layer, split, and crash recovery will roll out on the preview channel first. These technologies will be tested and then hardened in the preview channel before making their way into the PTU for migration to then live. In the future, when we're ready to deliver server meshing, you can expect it to go to the preview channel first for its effects to be observed and tested before it goes to the PTU. Any new technologies on the preview channel must be validated, graduated, and ultimately mission proven before making their way to a live release. This means that if you aren't interested in testing the latest new technologies, you can simply connect to the live game and dive right in. Those amongst you eager to get your hands on the latest cutting-edge tech will be able to connect to the new preview channel to do just that. But be warned, the preview channel is not for the faint of heart. You should always expect the unexpected when testing things in this environment. This means that things will work and then they won't. That servers will be online and then they'll suddenly go offline. This is the Wild West, a true testing environment where experimentation is the norm and all bets are off. You should never connect and expect healthy progression or reliability, but instead expect uncertainty and the potential for issues related to gameplay, connectivity, or maybe something even more unexpected. We really want to stress this to manage expectations. This is our boiling pot of new tech, and new tech will live in the preview channel until it's in a good enough place to make the migration over to our live servers. Intrepid explorers will be excited to learn that we'll properly be inaugurating the preview channel by opening the Pyro system within this environment this month. As mentioned above, there will be plenty of unknowns, and we need brave trailblazers like you to face them with grit and determination. So, really experimental build, bear that in mind. It could be pretty rough going for the first week or so. Getting back to the Pyro preview channel schedule post. For the initial debut, we want to reiterate the fluidity of the preview channel. When we said it wasn't for the faint of heart, we meant it. It's important to note that the experience will vary frequently depending on what tech and content is being tested and overall traffic. The game version available on the preview channel is akin to early Evocati playtests, which are usually less reliable and subject to change often. Below, you'll find our tentative schedule, but please note that depending on both backend and testing needs, times may change, run long, or end early. We also may deviate from this schedule as other testing priorities arise, such as PTU testing for upcoming patches and events. We intend to gradually open access to avoid putting too much strain on the backend at once. This means that when you log in, if the servers are at capacity, you will encounter an error. If you do hit such an error, simply come back and try again later. We plan to run an 8-hour test each day, rotating between time zones to accommodate our global audience. Remember that we'll open the preview channel to our most active testers, concierge, and those who have acquired a digital goodies pack. So the schedule starts, and the initial launch of the Pyro Playground is on the 31st of October at 7 PM UTC. It then cycles to 1 PM UTC on the 1st of November for another 8-hour test. Then on the 2nd November, it's at 6 AM UTC for another 8-hour test, and then 7 PM on the 3rd, and with another 8-hour test. And that continues until the 14th of November. At least that is when the current schedule is continuing to. I'll put a link down below to all of this so that you can see. It is very likely that it may change, so just bear that in mind and keep checking. Cloud Imperium continue. We will wrap up testing the preview channel ahead of the Alpha 3.21.1 build. If you miss your opportunity to jump in, fear not. We'll be bringing Pyro back online for testing later this year. Last but certainly not least, we kindly encourage you all to take full advantage of the Issue Council. Your reports are a massive help in expediting the process of getting Pyro to the live servers. Remember, this is only the beginning of the preview channel. On the road ahead, we look forward to getting your hands on the replication layer split, server meshing, and more. We know that many of you are eager to dive in, and we can't wait to jump in with you. Thanks in advance for your patience and understanding. We'll see you in Pyro. So, early Evocati build does mean probably very, very buggy. So how do you actually know if you've got access and all this sort of jazz? Well, Cloud Imperium have added a Q&A. So, first question, who gets access to the preview channel? We'll utilize a randomized selection process pulling from Digital Goodies Pack owners, concierge, and our most active testers, followed by our usual wave process. More details to come. We'd like to include as many as possible, but the capacity and access will be determined as we go. Our backend and testing teams will be monitoring, gathering data, and ultimately making decisions based on testing needs. The ultimate goal is outlined in our original preview channel announcement, which is to prepare Pyro for an eventual migration to the live servers. How will I know if I was invited to the test? You will receive an email, Explore Pyro, from us. This will just reiterate that you've got access and what you can expect from the build. Does this mean that all concierge will get access on the 31st, or just those randomly selected? We'd like to grant access to as many as possible, and if we're able to do so for all of concierge, we will. We also may revoke access if that becomes necessary. As mentioned in my other reply, we'll be monitoring and making decisions as we go. It's important to note that we will limit total capacity, and we anticipate the number of players will exceed that capacity during peak hours. In this case, some will find they are unable to connect and may need to try again later. Access and capacity will vary between playtests based on their needs. The ultimate goal with the preview channel is to put emerging technologies and sometimes content through their paces before reaching the wider audience. Will this build have the replication layer separation? While we plan to test both replication layer split, server meshing, etc., these technologies will not be in the initial preview channel debut. Will there be an NDA, or can I use the preview channel to share content with my community and other players? For this preview channel in particular, you are welcome to share screenshots, videos, etc. Is there any preloading? No preloading. You'll receive an email when you actually have your access granted, saying that you now have access, and bam, then you can preload. Will this build have the full Pyro system? This is the same experience that was playable at CitizenCon with a handful of fixes, so it's not the entirety of the system. It does contain several moons, several planets, and several stations though. How do we participate in the preview channel? Do we need to copy anything over to the PTU or anything like that? You will copy your account to the PTU, same process that currently exists for general PTU play. You will receive your pledge ships after copying over to the PTU as well, so basically copies your account. Why is Pyro being tested on the preview channel rather than the PTU? What's the difference? So mechanically, they're not much different. It's simply an additional environment that they're treating differently. The preview channel will be treated far differently than the usual PTU. The Pyro system sort of being featured on the Pyro channel is an exception, simply because it's an entirely new system, massive content drop, usually new locations, features, and content will go straight to the PTU, skipping the preview channel. In the future, you can expect the preview channel to be utilized for major underlying technologies such as server meshing, their replication layer split, etc. These behemoths are better served isolated on the preview channel until they're ready to be graduated to the PTU and then eventually live. So that's it. That's what we know at the moment about how the Pyro build and all that sort of jazz is going to be deployed. I'll chuck all the links down below as well so you can follow along. Expect an extremely buggy, erratic time in the first few days of this. More and more people should get access later, and the schedule might go beyond the 14th of November. They are going to do more tests before the end of the year. You'll see some Pyro content come out from us, even if it is in a terrible, terrible state. We'll do what we can, and we'll see what we can. But I'm really interested to know what you think about this. Are you excited for the Pyro Playground build, or are you going to wait until it's a bit more stable or on the PTU or live servers? Do you like what Cloud Imperium are doing with the preview channel going, yes, it's really early build, bam, check it out, see what you think. But remember, you're helping us sort of play test and bug test this. Do you dislike the way that Cloud Imperium are only letting some people in to start with and they're lottering it? Or do you think that's a really fair way of doing it? Or do you not really care because you want to wait until it's a bit more stable? What Pyro stuff do you want to see from the channel? What sort of content? What do you want us to check out? Whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. What the hell are you? It's nordvpn.com/BoredGamer, enabling you to minimize your presence on the internet, almost like a cloaking device. It also allows you to hunt out the best TV and movies and shopping deals by changing your region. It prevents big internet from gathering and using your personal data. There's even a data breach scanner and meshnet for your own remote private network included. When Zin asked, what's the Predator movie got to do with NordVPN or CitizenCon or Star Citizen, I said, what's any of our NordVPN ads got to do with anything? Grab yourself NordVPN in the links below for a seamless, secure internet experience. Do you like using your eye holes for extra immersion in Star Citizen and help aim and do some cool stuff? Well, you can with Tobii Eye Tracker 5, which is on sale at the moment. This gives you native high-precision head and eye tracking in Star Citizen. Very cool for general immersion, for combat both in ship or on foot. They are absolutely fantastic pieces of kit, and both Zin and I have one. Use the links below to grab one for 15% off or to find out more. Every month we have a Star Citizen ship giveaway. For October 2023, we are giving away a Constellation Phoenix. This luxury multi-crew ship can be used as a mission runner, an explorer, a base of operations, and more. It comes with a luxury P-72 Archimedes snub, as well as the Lynx rover, allowing you to have on and off planet excursions. Just comment on any of my videos made during the month to be in for a chance of winning that. This is the bit of the video where I appeal to you to try and join the channel memberships and give us money. We have a load of you that are Patreons or have become YouTube channel members with the join button under my videos, and that goes a huge way in helping the channel and enabling us to make daily Star Citizen news entertainment. But there are a load of other ways to help us, liking, commenting, sharing these videos. That helps the channel grow. Thank you for watching to the end. Please get involved in the comment section, and I hope you have a great October.